Good morning and welcome to the Jess Strom Show. I'm your host, Katie Tetzlaw. It is game week. It's game week. It's Tuesday, November 16th, and I'm here with two very special guests. Hello, ladies. Hello, how are you today?
Pretty good.
Good. All right, they're going to introduce themselves. These are newcomers here to the CalU women's basketball program. So first, Dynasty, we'll go with you.
My name is DYNASTY SHEGOG. I'm a freshman. I'm from Monroeville, PA, and I'm going to be majoring in psychology.
Fantastic. And you, Tal?
My name is TALIA GILLIARD Jackson. I'm a freshman and I'm from Mechanicsburg, PA, and I am undecided as of right now.
Undecided, that's all right because you're getting a nice taste of college. So you are the true freshman on the squad. The newcomers coming in to CalU. First and foremost, let's talk about your recruitment process during a pandemic. Dynasty, if you want to start off with saying like how that experience was for you, no matter if it was Cal or any other places that you were recruited, what was that like going through your senior season and, you know, not being able to see CalU play while you're going through it and just having to kind of go off of what we basically say CalU is because you didn't really get to see it in the truest form. Tell us about your recruiting process.
It was a little hard because we couldn't actually see the schools. We had to do tours virtually. So you really couldn't get like a feel of how the campus would be like. But to me it was stressful. A lot of crying, a lot of like
tears.
Yeah, I cried a lot, especially with AU because we didn't know if we were going to have an AU season. And then we ended up having one, but then tournaments got cut short.
Just up and down.
Up and down, yeah. And then like offers being pulled. I had a couple offers being pulled because wanted me to pressure, but I didn't want to make a decision if I didn't go on campus.
If you didn't feel right,
yeah.
If you didn't have that sense of home.
And then when I came on my visit here, felt like home. I knew as soon as I left. I knew.
Yep.
But I wanted to keep it going, but then I finally made the decision.
Absolutely.
And then I love it.
Awesome. Fantastic. And Tal, how about for you? Tell us about your recruiting experience and everything in your senior year, how that all went down and how you got to CalU.
So my senior year of high school, it was difficult. I mean, like playing with a mask and like having like limited games and like not having everyone in the gym either. But it was actually pretty well. It went pretty well. And then recruiting was different. Like every school that reached out was different. Some they would do on-campus visits, some wouldn't. And I guess like no one knew for certain if there was going to be a season this year, so there was like deadlines for everybody to to make a decision. And like Dynasty, I didn't want to make a decision without knowing, like, and feeling that it was home. So.
And what was it for about CalU that kind of sparked your interest and kind of made you feel at home?
Honestly, I think it was when I first like started talking to both of you guys. Like I can tell like by like talking to different coaches like how they are like with their team, and like from you guys I could get a sense that you guys cared and like are very invested in the players. So then like other coaches, it was basically like basketball where you guys were invested in like the school and like getting to know us like personally too.
Absolutely. And now that you're here, you went through your first collegiate preseason. Now tell us, I know how my preseason was when I was a freshman, very different. I was blown away. I thought I was ready, but I really wasn't. Dynasty, you could start off first. How was the preseason here at CalU for you?
I had a crazy preseason. So we started off, definitely was hard.
Absolutely.
It was hard. Not going to say it was easy. And then caught COVID.
Unfortunate situation.
Yeah, and then
did your time, did your quarantine,
time,
went
came
home.
Back. Yes, the first practice back was the stairs. I thought I was gonna die. It took everything in me to just be like, I'm done. But I pushed through it, then caught pneumonia.
Yeah, you had a rough first couple months of school.
So then came back. I think I came back the last week of preseason.
Made it all the way through. Finished strong.
Yeah.
And how for you? How is the beginning of basketball season? Like, you know, the October 15th when we're full go. How different is it for you from high school coming in, like the big transition from high school to college that we're now in practice, you know what's going on, and you kind of have a good feel. What was the biggest transition for you? Or maybe still is?
The speed.
Yep.
Much quicker than high school. We kind of did the same concepts, but it just wasn't as fast. So
Absolutely.
Getting there and, keeping up with the girls is more difficult than
Yeah, but as days go by, you can just tell, like, especially with freshmen, like even today, this morning, I think at practice, saying like, you can tell like you're getting better and better. The big thing I think always is the talk. Have you ever had to talk this much in practice?
No.
Names on passes.
Names on passes, yeah.
Everything, talk, help, deny, everything. Is that very difficult for you guys to pick up with? Like, is it tough because you never really had to do it as much?
Usually in high school, it was just, I get help, I have ball. We really didn't talk that much, but it's a big change now because if you don't talk, then the whole defense kind of
shuts down.
Yeah, shuts down.
Tal, for you, what is the biggest transition? Coming out of high school, you could in high school, get any shot that you wanted to, basically to a certain degree in practice or probably in games. It was kind of like clockwork. That's what you do well. Is it hard to get off a shot with pressure defense?
Yeah, it is.
Is that one of the biggest things that you had to transition? Or maybe you could speak for yourself. What is your biggest transition from high school to college?
I definitely think that it's playing with girls that are like my same skill level or even like a high and have more experience than me. So it's like kind of like starting high school all over again.
Absolutely. Well, you were everybody at their high school level is a big fish in a smaller pond. Now you're a small fish in a bigger pond, just like you're probably your freshman year of high school. You come in, you're excited, and then you're playing against people that have been in the system, that have experience, that have a feel for it. And I'll be honest with you, Coach Jess and I talk about this all the time. You guys were really thrown to the wolves because we had that opportunity to practice that whole last semester of practice, learn our stuff, philosophy, and you were kind of expected to know it like this way faster probably than any other freshman that we've had here at Cal U. The expectation was like, you better get it because we're moving fast. Was that very difficult to kind of just say, oh my goodness, what's going on? How we're doing things? This is fast. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, I remember the first day of the team camp when the coaches came and watched us do a couple drills. And then you guys started doing the closeout drill. Me and Talia looked at each other and was like, oh, it's real. The speed is so much faster and we have to get on it soon.
Tal, for you?
Like she said, team camp when we saw you
yeah,
guys doing
you just
that.
looked
It was
at
just like the intensity was up the whole time, which is a lot different from high school where it's you walk through and do this and that and not take everything 100% all the time. Where here it's you have to be 100% if you want to get better. Yep,
for sure. And so far, what was your favorite thing? This was your first weekend trip, over our first two games. Talk to us a little bit about the atmosphere, what you noticed about the game. What was, kind of, obviously we're super pumped about getting 2 wins. What was kind of fun for you about this trip?
Definitely bonding. I feel like we got closer with just the hotel rooms and
Always. The bus trips, the hotel rooms, they really, really make teams. I mean, you're not in your room by yourself. You're punched in there with a lot of people. So just kind of talking to other people that you might not have talked to a lot, there, is that kind of where you saw it? What did you think of the games? The intensity of them, tell us a little bit about the games.
Okay, I'll go first. I love the game atmosphere. On the end of the bench, I feel like we all picked each other up. We're celebrating, and just to know that we have each other's back, or even when we're down, we never gave up and we were able to come back. I love that.
Yep. For you, Tal?
I love in practice, we do everything, and then going to a game, and you see it in full motion of us doing it against someone else. And, just seeing how beautiful it looks.
Yeah, and I'm so happy that you say that because we spend a lot of time breaking down people's sets, their tendencies, and like you said, we do it very differently. But then when you see it kind of put in action, did a light bulb click and say for you, oh, that's why we're doing those drills. Did that happen for you guys as you're looking at stuff?
Yeah, it definitely did help to see even with what we do wrong, if you don't do it, and you were able to see what would happen.
Yeah, and it's really different when you get to watch it from a different angle. When you're in it, it feels so different. But when you see it from a different perspective, you're like, okay, this makes sense. So now that you guys got your feet wet as freshmen, you know the expectations of the program. You're starting to really, really understand philosophies and everything that we do. How would you describe Dynasty, our team? What are a couple words that you would use to describe our Cal U women's basketball team?
Oh, I would say gritty.
Yep, I love
just
it.
like gritty, get down to it. Like we don't stop for nothing. That's one thing I do love. Like competition, we don't stop. Like we go at it every day, even at practice. That's one thing I love.
Was that a shock to you with how hard we compete in practice? And like, there's no holds barred. There's no love at practice for anyone. I mean, you guys are there to win the drill. You know, it's really important, I think. I think everybody on our team competes at a really high level. No one likes to lose. Was that really like an eye-opener, Tal, for you when you came?
Yeah. Like having someone in your face like 24/7 and like there is no out of bounds. So you're playing everywhere.
Yep.
Like it just like doesn't stop. So just having that like constant just like pace of you're always playing. Like it's always fair.
And Tal, to talk about that, I mean, you say gritty. Talk about toughness. You took a header into the bleachers diving after a loose ball. I was like, go, wow, Tal. Like, you wanted that ball. It was all or nothing. Like, you went after it. Talk about toughness. I mean, there was no out of bounds, and you literally went after that. Was that just kind of like, I have to get the ball? Like, is that the mentality of Cal U? Like, you just got to come up with the play?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, honestly, yeah.
It just kind of ingrained you now. Yeah. And you know what? It's so fun to watch you guys, even from the beginning, like the beginning of preseason, you know, to right now from October 15th to November 16th, you know, a little bit over a month. Can you tell the big difference in like your growth in the Cal U system?
Definitely. I feel like coming in, you know, we are like freshmen, we're going to be confused, but now I feel like we do understand it, and I can see the improvement from like not even just me, but like the both of us. So.
Absolutely. You Tal? Same?
Yeah, I think like coming here, it opened my eyes to a bunch of like different like intelligence like for the game of basketball. So I'm seeing a lot of things differently from like defense than I used to play it, and like offense than how I used to play. Which
our defense is just really different than both of your guys's. You know, some obviously you're always going to have help and deny and stuff like that, but you know, different rotations and stuff that we do, different ways of going ball screens, like it's really different. I'm sure there's a huge learning curve, and just even your feet position and all that. So now that we're past that, what are you guys most looking forward to? You know, we're 2 games in. Big game this week. We have another game on Monday, and then have a couple of days for Thanksgiving break. What are you guys most looking forward to after these first 2 games?
Just, I'm excited for like the preparation for every game, and just like then seeing all that come into a game. Like every week we pick up a team in like a couple of days, and then we play them and
have to be ready to go.
And have to be ready, yeah.
Yep. And for you, Dynasty?
I'm most excited just to see like how we play, because like I know we do a lot in practice, but just like to watch our team go, because as like a younger one, like to watch the game, like I'm learning.
Absolutely.
So just from watching it, so just to learn from like the older girls and get better every day is what I'm most excited for.
And that's the goal, get better every single day. When you get better, we get better. Kind of our saying, I actually think I said that this morning. So folks, there you go, 2 inside I would say 2 insights into our program as freshmen, Dynasty and TALIA. Thank you so much for being on the show today. Next up, we have head coach Jess Strom.
The Cal U Cupboard connects students to information, services, and resources both on and off campus while providing free items such as food, school supplies, personal hygiene items, and more to our students. Visit our 2 locations at the Vulcan Village Clubhouse and Natalie Student Center, or for a contactless option, visit bit.ly.com/Cal U Cupboard to request food or give donations. For important Cal U information, community resources, and our how-to series, follow at Cal U Cupboard on Instagram and the campus-wide announcements.
Okay, Daddy, Dr. Elmo says you're healthy.
Oh, well, thank you. Our children and families want us to be healthy. That's why I and lots of other grown-ups got the COVID-19 vaccine, so we can stay healthy and get back to the moments we miss, like seeing our friends and family.
Here you go, Daddy. For a healthy checkup, a sticker.
Oh, thanks, son.
With free COVID-19 vaccines, sunnier days are ahead. Visit getvaccineanswers.org.
Backed by popular demand and better than ever is late-night dining in the Natalie Student Center. Join us starting Monday, October 18th at the hot spot for evening dining, Natalie Evening Eats, located on the 2nd floor of Natalie next to Umami. Open Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. to 11:30 p.m., and on weekends, 7:30 p.m. to 11:30 p.m., Natalie Evening Eats is a one-stop shop for your favorite menu items. Orders can be placed through our mobile app or at the designated Evening Eats kiosk. We can't wait to see you there.
And welcome back to the Jess Strom Show. We are with the name of the show, personality, Jessica Strom from Munhall, Pennsylvania. Jess, how are we doing today?
Good. Tired. Had a long weekend, but we're here.
Looking a little rough, looking a little tired today. That's okay. I mean, we're ready to roll. Had an early morning today with practice.
Yep.
Talk to us and to the viewers. So pumped about the weekend. Obviously we don't dwell on it too much, but felt so good to be back in a game, real game competition against two great teams from the Mountain East, which are regional games. Tell us a little bit about your thoughts over the weekend.
Yeah, I think we went into it hoping what we wanted to see or expected to see, but you still have a little bit of nerves or, excitement because we haven't done this in a very long time. So, going into the West Liberty game, it was kind of like, okay,
how are we going to
What are we going to do? Yeah, how are we going to show up? And I'm super proud of our team because I think we did show up and we played really, really hard, especially on the defensive end. I think, there was a ton of fouls in that first game. Some were probably fouls, some were probably not fouls. But we got called
on both ends.
Yeah, we got called for a lot of fouls. And I think that always happens to us early. But I think we adjusted. We had a lot of people come in and give us good minutes in that game. And like you said, I just wanted to get that first win. Just get that first win. Let us get that under our belt, know what it feels like. And it got a little sketchy there in the second quarter. I think we went into halftime down 1 and then had a big third quarter, big fourth quarter. So just proud of our team. And then I was very excited to see how we would come back on Sunday because that's hard.
Back-to-back games to start off the year after being off for a year.
Yeah, that's difficult.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Time was quick. I felt like we got on the bus and it was like, woo, woo, woo. From the time we got on the bus, besides sitting on the bus, when we got off, it was like, with meals.
The kids ate post-game meal at probably 11 o'clock on Saturday night because our game was so long because there was 1 million fouls. So it was a very long game.
We almost missed the pickup for the meal because, we had intended to be there at this time, but
so
we were way late.
For them too, they eat that late, they're not going right to bed. So, and then we have shoot around in the morning, we have film in the morning. It's a lot. They're not used to that yet.
And being in a hotel room for the first time with a new group.
Yeah, so I was anxious to see on Sunday our approach and how we would come back. Playing a nationally ranked team
17th in the country.
Charleston. So, shoot around was a little I think our energy was a little bit lacking. Yeah. But we have to learn our team too. So this is all learning experience for us. And then coming to the game, though, I think we brought it. We had energy. I think we had focus. We were kind of just locked in. And just knew what our assignment was and kind of went out there and beat a good Charleston team. And I think it was a fun game if you were just to watch it.
For sure.
Yeah, I think it was a good game. I think some people made some big plays. They made a few more threes than I would have liked them to make. But I think overall for the weekend as a whole, I think our defense, which we obviously emphasize a lot, was good for the first two games.
Yeah, and I thought what was really cool, it was how drastically different our opponents were. Our first game in West Liberty, we're expecting that transition game, tons of threes, drive and kick like rain, and they're hard to match up with at the 3-point line. Last year they averaged over 26 3-point attempts per
80
game.
points, over 80 points.
Oh yeah, and can score in bunches. And then you have Charleston, who I think is a lot more similar to our style, kind of going off the bounce a little bit more. So just some different dynamic players with reverse pivots and getting to the rim and post ups. Really tall post players in the house. So it was so different, the two games. And I thought it was so cool how we were able to react. Prep for one and then get our preparation down for the second.
The preparation was very different.
Quick.
We had, for West Liberty, we spent that whole week preparing for them. Didn't look at Charleston one time. And then we have from 10:30 Saturday night to 3 o'clock the next day to prepare for Charleston. So I think our kids adjusted. You know, they figured it out. It was like, here we go.
And you've always been one to watch film while you're lying in bed until like 2 o'clock in the morning. So nothing like preparing it that late.
Holding my phone up, trying to keep my eyes up. Oh, gotta keep my eyes open, eating cake.
Yeah, it was so fun to do laundry at 2:30. So that was 2:30 a.m. I can tell you, I was filled with glee to do the towels that did not dry properly in the hotel dryer.
That's what a road trip is.
Yeah,
Yep.
I feel like that is just kind of how it is for coaches. And let's give it hats off to our players. Like,
Yeah.
you know, talk about the grind, but talk about the pounding and the grind for them to be off. Like we practice really hard, and for them to kind of go put it all out there. I get so pumped about our kids. You know, what we do, I think, is, you know, what coaches all across America do. But what they do is we ask a lot of them, and we ask them to be super focused, and we ask them to pick up things very quickly. And I was just like super pumped for them, because I told them, and as you said too, like, we deserve to be playing. Like, we were so pumped to be playing. We had the opportunity, and for them to come out, play that way, and then back it up with another good performance in our first 2 games. You're still kind of learning the ways of the team. I was so pumped.
Yeah, and like you said, 2 good teams we played. So for us, those are 2 really big regional wins to start off the year.
Yep. And now, you know, you have to put those to bed very quickly. You know, the weekend was the weekend. Playing a tough Fairmont game here on Thursday, and a really kind of like a homecoming for us as well. 2 former players that you were able to coach, and Steph Michaels and Mickey Glenn. Obviously, different names now, but you know, still the same people that you coach and have a great relationship with. So super fun.
Oh, it's awesome. This game is so fun for me. It's like you're at practice, because they do the exact same things as we do. Like they took our style and made it their own at Fairmont. So yeah, it's fun. It's fun to see them. I wish they could be on our sideline, because 2 super hard workers for us when they were here. Like,
oh my goodness.
Love them. So, but I'm so proud of them. Like, if we're not playing Fairmont, I want Fairmont to win every game.
Absolutely.
So
any person that's coaching at Cal U, anybody that played at Cal U, whether they're in a job, we want them to be employee of the month. Whether they're coaching, we want all of their teams to win some big games, except
Thursday, yeah.
Yep,
they can lose that one, but the rest of them, I really want them to win. So, no, but it would be good to see them. I talk to them frequently. You know, I'm like their biggest fan. So hopefully, you know, we get the win Thursday, but I do want them to be super successful.
And what's this game look like for you? Like you said, very similar styles. Obviously, that's what they played collegiate basketball for. Very similar stuff defensively, offensively. Tendencies, not all the same.
Yeah.
But like really a snapshot of a lot of things that we have been doing in the past and did so well, and that they executed so well. So what do you expect from this game, Jess?
It's going to be like practice for us. Honestly, it's like playing ourselves, which is good and bad. You know, I feel like we kind of can figure out weaknesses in our own defense, because we go against it every single day. But I'm assuming they can do the same, because they go against it every single day. So I think it's going to be a battle. Like, I'm sure that they are tough kids, because that's the way their coaches are. You know, and I think we have really tough kids too. So we'll be prepared. You know, I know we're going to go out and compete, so it will be a good game.
Yep. And as you know, kind of, let's go back to the weekend a little bit. As you evaluated the 2 wins that we had this weekend, what are some of the things that you really liked that you saw, you know, both offense and defense wise? And what are some things that you think that Cal U, you know, really needs to get better at as we move forward game by game?
I think the biggest thing that I enjoyed about the weekend is I can see our identity. Like, we're going to be tough. We're going to be physical. We're going to communicate. Like, we kind of want to be intimidating, or on the defensive end at least, you know. So I think those things, like, we have our identity already. That's who we are. That's who we're going to be.
And that's how we practice.
Yeah. I mean, they get it faithfully. They do it every single day. But I think that they have really, like, taken on that role.
And early.
Like, we move fast. We're going to be aggressive. You know, I like those things. I like how we adjust to things. Like, any play I drop, we have done it correctly. Like, we have been focused. So I like that about us too. I think the one thing if I take away from this weekend that we can work on is just offensively running through our stuff. You know, we don't need to get to the end of plays. I will never say that. But just getting good looks off of our stuff, kind of running it through a little bit. But also, it's not really their fault. We don't work on offense a ton.
Yeah.
So that usually will catch up later in the season.
Always say that.
Yeah.
We do this every year. Where our offense was just fine.
Yeah.
We were content with it, but I feel like we really, really progress offensively. Kind of the defensive end, we got it. We're sticking to our stuff, our principles, but I think we've always seen a lot of growth throughout the year.
Yeah, it definitely
offensively with all the Cal teams.
comes along a little later. Like you said, it's fine. It was not
Yeah.
bad. It was fine. But our defense is definitely ahead of it. Like, I think the first quarter of West Liberty, our first game, we forced 11 turnovers in the first quarter.
Yep.
So for me, that's like, yes, like, okay, that's who we are.
And those are the goals too.
Right.
Exactly. So as we, prepare for Fairmont, and do you take these games? I think I ask you this all the time and every year, but you're a really game by game kind of person. Never looking ahead. Do you want the team to be the same way?
Yeah, I just think it's a different focus. Like, back-to-back are tough because it's literally the next day. But, like, games like this, so we play Thursday. We prepare today, tomorrow, play Thursday. Like, our focus should be on nothing but Fairmont State because there is nothing else right now but Fairmont State.
Yep.
And then, after Fairmont State, then Central State is the same way. Like, our complete focus will be on Central State. Like I said, it's more difficult when there's back-to-back games, but these single games, I don't know what else we would be focusing on. Like, obviously, we want to get better ourselves, but, as for another team, like, that's our focus.
Yeah. And how cool is it, Jess, for you to kind of see that for Cal U, it's going to be a different person every night, every day. I feel like every day at practice, someone emerges, then the next game, someone else does and someone else. Do you feel like that's going to be the constant MO for Cal U?
Yeah, and it's awesome. I think
Love
we
it.
have really good players. Like,
Always.
I really believe that we have a lot of talented basketball players. So, it's like you said, if someone, especially on Saturday, like, we had a lot of foul trouble. So someone needs to come in and give us a boost, give us some energy. And I think for Saturday, that was JB for sure. I think she came in and
A freshman point guard coming
came in and did a great job. But it's going to be someone different every single game, and it's going to be, and we're balanced. Like, you can take certain people, try to take certain people away, but there's other people that are
Someone
very
else will
capable
emerge.
too. Yeah, so I think it's a great thing for us. Like, there's
Absolutely.
so many people that can play for us.
Yep. And it's just so exciting that we get to kind of continue this day by day to get better. Is that always the goal for you? Like, when you come into practice, we had off yesterday. When you come into practice, obviously you're doing Fairmont and preparing for Fairmont, but what is the actual goal for you?
Yeah,
what do you look at?
Obviously just for us to get better. Like, us to have a ton of energy. I think every day our constants should be our energy, our communication, our effort. Like, those should be every single day. But we take it game by game, but we're playing to play in March. So we have to continue to get better. Like, we can't just take days where we're or blah or okay.
Yeah,
like,
you
that's
gotta bring
not
it every
okay.
day.
Yeah, we got to get better. As a whole, we have to get better. So.
Yep. And after the weekend and now what are you looking at? Like, I know we're only focusing on Fairmont, but let's go big picture just for 1 second. What are you most looking forward to about this season so far?
I'm looking forward to see us progress and see where we can get to, because there are times when I watch us, like, I was watching our West Liberty game last night, and I'm like, man, we could be really, really good. We have the potential to be really good. And so I'm just excited to see us get there. Like, I know if they put the work in, like, I feel like as coaches, we know, like, I know what it takes for us to get there. I know we have it. But we have to do it every day.
What goes into that, Jess? Tell us what it takes to be great.
Yeah,
I think we have an idea, but what are, for the viewers out there that might not be involved in athletics or have an understanding of how this goes, what do you think it takes to be great?
It's just, you have to be unselfish. You have to be willing to do it every single day. You have to be willing to do it when you don't want to do it, when you don't feel like doing it.
You have to sacrifice a lot.
You gotta just put yourself aside sometimes and be there. For the team, but it's just being consistent. You can have a bad shooting day. You can have an off day. You can emotionally have a bad day, but, like, when you step on the court, there should be no bad days with your effort, with your energy, and if there is with someone, your teammates have to pick you up. Like, I think the biggest thing taking a team that has a lot of ability or talent to be great is just being consistent in their work.
Yep. And really understanding each other too. Like, the chemistry has to be great. And that comes along with as you play. Like, I keep thinking about chemistry, and our chemistry at practice, but you also have to develop a certain chemistry in games. Like who's out there, different flow of people in and out, who fits with who works. And that's both on the coaches and the players. Wouldn't you say, like learning to play with other people, then putting in who are good together, who do you need to come off the bench, who needs, you know what I mean, different things like that.
Yeah, and we're learning every game, like learning who you can trust at the end of a game, who you can trust to go in if you need a rebound, like whatever you need, who is that person that can go in and get it done. So we're learning. You know, there's a lot of new players on our team, so we're learning that. I think they're learning each other at the same time too. And
that's also a difficult thing for a player too, because it also has to translate. Like we talk about this all the time. Like we practice so hard. Our kids, man, I get so excited when I talk about them. Like I have such pride for them because they do bust their butts in practice. They do always have great effort. And, you know, but a lot of times too is what they do in practice, what we get to see every day has to translate to a game.
Yeah, it does. And like, I feel like you just got to take advantage of opportunities when you get them. You know, take advantage and then you'll get more opportunities. I feel like that's how it works. But for us, like you said, it's going to be someone different all the time. I wouldn't be surprised if our leading scorers or leading rebounders or whatever are different
every game,
game to game. Yeah, and then that's great for us.
Not a bad problem to have, right? Yeah. So we have Fairmont on Thursday, and then Central State on Monday, and then Thanksgiving break. Talk to us a little bit about, you know, that time coming up to Thanksgiving. The goal has always been, I feel like since I've been at CalU, you have to win those. Like you put such a focus on getting better and then winning those first games before break. Yeah,
we always want to go into Thanksgiving break, whatever NO. Like we want to go in there feeling good. Nothing is worse than losing before break.
Ooh, you have to sit on that the whole time.
And I know the kids feel the same way because when you come back, it's usually not pleasant if you lose before break. So our goal is to win the next two games and then get a little break. Because I know we are sore. We're a little banged up.
Yep.
Some of our players are fighting through little nagging injuries. So I think that break is going to be important for us, but we need to focus this week, you know, this next week on these two games first. And then Thanksgiving break, it just depends when we play. But this year we get 4 whole days.
That's wild.
Yeah, they get 4 days off, so it's a good time for us to recover, rest,
refresh.
A little bit. Yeah.
Get some time with family, just kind of relax and put everything to bed for a little bit. So that's it, folks, for the Jess Strom Show. Big game versus Fairmont, first home game of the year, 5:30 p.m. on Thursday. Hope to see you there. If you can't make it, games are always online. And we hope that you have a great day, and thanks for watching the Jess Strom Show.